So there's been this debate that I've heard ever since I got into horror back in really the mid-2000s. Fright Night or Lost Boys? It's a debate that's still going on until this very day, and even though movies like Near Dark are really starting to get into the conversation, it's something that's going to continue to go on, quite frankly. And I always have my opinion in that debate, Fright Night, but it's always the 11th hour when I go to sleep and I say to myself, but you know what, damn it, what about Vamp? So today I wanted to talk about the 1986 vampire film called Vamp, which I'm aptly titling this video, Vamp, the best 80s vampire film you've never seen. Now, I know, there's a chance you watching this, you've seen this film. But the fact of the matter is, as I continue this YouTube channel, I'm finding people that were my age getting into horror at the time asking for movies to check out. And when it comes to the vampire genre, most of them at this point have seen Fright Night or Lost Boys. For me, when I think about what's the next movie they should check out, I'm really trying to push this film, Vamp. Vamp, in some ways, is one of the most unique 80s vampire films I've ever seen. Especially when you look at the front cover on this Arrow Video Blu-ray, and you notice the title at the top, Grace Jones. But if they don't know who Grace Jones is, she's too young for you, bro. Admittedly, when I got this Blu-ray as a blind buy at FYE, the title of Grace Jones at the top really threw me off, but I was reassured by some of my people that I talked to that were older than me that had seen this title. You are going to love this. This is one of those hidden gems that should be way more popular than it is, which I actually think, because this is a hidden gem, elevates this film to a certain level that you wouldn't have if it was this popular thing. I know that sounds weird, but I feel like as time goes on, those movies that kind of stay hidden a little bit just benefit from that. But what is Vamp? Well, Vamp is this 80s vampire film about a couple of college kids that really want to get into this fraternity, so they go to the strip club to hire a stripper. But along the way, this lonely rich friend of theirs wants to join along. Did I mention Robert Rusler from Nightmare on Elm Street Part 2 is in Vamp, which I thought was an immediate sell for me when I found that out, because I love Robert Rusler. He was also my favorite person I ever met at a convention. Super nice guy. Once they're at this strip club, they notice some exotic looking strippers, in particular Grace Jones, and when one of the boys tries to go backstage with said stripper, they learn the horrible truth that they are vampires. And at this point in the film, all hell breaks loose. Like I said earlier, in some ways, I think Vamp is truly one of the most unique, interesting, and psychedelic vampire films I've ever seen. It's perfect for its time period of the 80s, and it's a film once you see one time, you'll never forget it. Grace Jones gives one hell of a performance. I don't know much else of what she's done, I just know her from pop culture, but the fact of the matter is, she was pretty much born to play this role. She gives it every bit of gusto she had, and it is a wild performance with some incredibly cool makeup effects that, again, really sells this movie to be something special like you maybe have not seen before at all. I also want to mention that this film has a perfect level of black humor to it. You know, when we talk about some of the greatest horror comedies ever, two of them that always come to mind for me are Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2 and my all-time favorite movie, Return of the Living Dead. Vamp is going to fall perfectly into that sort of genre. To me, the best horror comedy films are the films that have good humor, but they're never beating you over the head saying, hey, we're trying to be funny. And Vamp is probably just as good, if not a better description of said genre. Vamp is a movie I totally have zero complaints with. It's a movie that isn't exactly perfect, but it is in its context of the film. It's just this really great 80s vampire film. Once you discover this film, it's going to be something that's always going to be in the back of your mind. Now, I'm not saying once you see this, you'll say this is your favorite vampire movie ever, but every time you see this movie in the future, I want you to say to people when they have the Lost Boys and Fright Night debate, yeah, those are good, but what about Vamp? If you've seen the movie, guys, let me know what you think. If you're interested in owning this film, there's a great Arrow Video Blu-ray you can get, and this is just this really cool VHS copy I got from a friend named Matthew. Thank you again for this, man. This is an Australian tape. Vamp is such a cool film, and I really just felt compelled to actually take the time today and talk to you guys about it. If you've seen the film, let me know your thoughts on it below, and I cannot recommend this enough. This gets the highest recommendation from good old CHH. Thank you guys for watching this video. Now go check out Vamp. It's free on Tubi. Thank you to all of my Patreon supporters who make videos like this possible. To get behind the scenes photos, videos, music, private live streams, and more, You can subscribe to my Patreon for as little as $1 a month. Thank you very much.